Hello, how are you all doing? What's in a number? In particular, a phone number. Today I've got some examples of some cool numbers I've come across over my lifetime. Most of them have been partially redacted. In fact, most of them have had lots of things redacted for safety because I don't want you going off and ringing them. Because there are some people in life that just can't resist. But what's in a number, really? There are some great numbers in the world. Let's start with a nice one that ended in 24681. I thought that was rather cool. Someone close to me had this number. So, phone numbers can be musically interesting as well. 24681. Doing this around the key of C just for ease of use sake, right? So, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, now things can go up to 10 with phone numbers, because if you count the 0 as your 10. So, you know, you've got some very strange things. Another number that's kind of interesting, for example, is 88886. Yes, I've seen a number that has 88886, which is musically odd to play, but you could fit some of these into an idea. And the reason I'm making this video at all is to make you think about numbers and do they help with melody ideas? Because even if you're not playing chords around them, what about thinking about numbers that you yourself own and know? And if you've got any interesting numbers, by the way, leave them in the comments. The best bits, not the whole thing, because like I said, people are silly. And that's the numbers long gone. As this next example. When I was a kid / teenager, you know, there was this thing called Watershed. There still is on UK television. Beyond a certain point, they could then post naughty things on telly. Naughty things like this.
Come on, Cole, check back! 50, 50, 50! 50, 50, 50!
Now, anyone over a certain age may remember that ridiculously annoying, catchy melody. But it was just the way that the guy actually said 50, 50, 50 in a kind of triplet way that was kind of interesting. So even if, as a child, we weren't supposed to be awake at those times, you would hear that through your closed bedroom door as your parents had the TV on, or if you were perhaps taking a trip to the bathroom and an advert came on, because this was posted on ITV and Channel 4 back in the day, and was advertised as, you know, late night phone lines where you could talk to people. This is pre-internet days. You've got to understand, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. So my days were very different back then. So yeah, there was all sorts of fun things like that. Someone else close to me has a number that has 4321 in it, which in itself is part of the old Lean On Me, which starts 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that makes it kind of musically interesting. Anyway, you can get carried away doing that sort of thing. But yeah, 4321, when I first saw that, I thought it was very, very cool. There was an old lady that used to look after me when I was younger who had the number 2211194. That was a great number. Does it musically fit, though? Not really. 22111. What are we going to do? 9, 4. Nah, not so great. I mean, that part's a bit like a doorbell. But otherwise, not great. But she said, I mean, she had this when I was a kid, and she died with that number as well, just a few years ago. She said to me, I'm never going to change it because it's easy to remember. And back in those days, when I lived at my mum's, we had a phone with a, you know, like a dial, a round dial, not touch tone like we're used to now. And even that was easy to type on a dial. It was fantastic. Great number. I enjoyed that one. Very good number. What else was there? I had a few other ones in my collection. Oh, one number that I myself used to own was 484832. And I always used to think that 484832 sounded like you were skipping down the road. 484832. 484832. Completely pointless. But also, musically interesting, 484832. Which I only discovered this morning as I was playing it. For the longest time, I never really thought it was musically interesting. But yeah, it is. If F is 4, and then C is also is 8, because of course we're going back round, 484832. You've got to play it in a certain way though, unless you play it like a straight 484832. That works too. Oops. Two people I know that live together. One of their phone numbers ends in 903, one ends in 309. That's a dyslexic's nightmare, but funny. So yeah, phone numbers are interesting. Have you got any? Hey, you behind the camera. Oh, the other side of the camera, sorry. Have you got any cool numbers? If you do, leave them in the comments, because I'm curious. And we'll end with one of my dad's old ones. It ended in 3, 6, 2, 5. Musically very, very cool. But just even on a telephone keypad, very cool to type, right? 3 and 6, top, bottom, 2, 5, top, bottom. You just move your finger across. Not so fun on if you're typing it in a numpad, sorry, like a numeric line along the top of your keyboard, because you've just got to skip a lot. But yeah, and if you play it boringly like that, 3, 6, 2, 5, but if you jazz it up a bit, and I ended on a 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So there's all sorts of ways to look at these phone numbers. I was lying in bed awake last night trying to think of what new topic I want to talk about on the video. And although this is rather silly and niche and funny, it amuses me, and I thought, well, if it amuses me, maybe it'll amuse someone else. So that's my topic of the day. What's in a number? And is it musically interesting? Those are the two questions. What's in a number? Is it musically interesting? It doesn't have to be musically interesting, but the number itself can be interesting. I've seen a lot of people, and here's an important point. Don't do this. A lot of people will use a PIN number of 2580 because it's straight down the middle of your phone's keypad. It's less interesting on a computer keypad where you've got the opposite way around. You've got calculator style 258, and then you've got to go down for the O. But it's not a good PIN number because it is obvious. Don't use 2580 for anything. It's a bad PIN. That's all I'll say on that. But yeah, if anyone has a number that has 2580 in it just accidentally, that's kind of a cool number. So there's all sorts of things out there that interest me. And hopefully you as well. Anyway, kind of a different video from me for a change. Not really musical related in the sense of, you know, teaching or exercise or anything like that, but just numbers. Because I think numbers are very cool. And how they relate to music can be conceived as possibly interesting as well. With that, I'll leave you. Enjoy your days. Or day. See you next time.